So I've got a really cool clip to show you. About a month ago, I learned a trick called Feeble-to-fakie, which probably a lot of people have heard of or can do, but I had actually never done it before. It's one of those tricks that's really about commitment. And commitment is a difficult issue because it's you either have it or you don't, right? If you're committed, you're doing it, and if you're scared, you're not. And everybody always wants to find a way to sort of gradually commit, and that's really hard. But I figured out a way to do it for Feeble-to-fakie that worked for me, and I was really surprised by it, and I actually got the entire process in a 6-minute clip that I'm about to show you. So I'll show you what I did first. All right, so this is my process. First, I would say I'm pretty good at feeble stalls and rocks to fakie. Those are warm-up tricks for me. Pretty much the first tricks I do when I go out to do some quarter pipe stuff. I think that's important to have that base. So the next thing I did is I thought to myself, I'll try a feeble to rock to fakie. And I thought that was going to be really helpful. I think it didn't help that much. It did boost my confidence a little bit. It actually is damaging to your ability to commit, because by going into the rock, you're automatically sort of giving yourself this escape route. And that's not what you need to have commitment for Feeble-to-fakie. But it actually does help your weight distribution, because to pop from the feeble into the rock requires a little bit different weight distribution than if you would just pivot back into the transition. So the thing I think that really helped me was doing a fakie manual down the ramp. And so you'll see what I mean when I show you the clip, but basically go up, get into a manual at the top of the ramp, and just fakie manual back down. And this is the most helpful for tricking yourself into committing, because pretty much that's all you need to do to get the Feeble-to-fakie is pop yourself out of the feeble into a fakie manual, and then you're just done. All right. So yeah, Feeble-to-fakie is basically combining the weight distribution of the feeble to rock to fakie with the commitment level of the fakie manual down the ramp, and you skip that middle step of decking the board. So it was really cool. One day I was just out messing around, and I for some reason decided to turn my camera phone on, and I managed to get this whole process. Like I was making it up in real time. Like I didn't have this list when I went out there, but I implemented the list, and then I wrote the list down because I thought people might like to see this. So let's take a look at the video. I'll talk you through it. So yeah, I learned this first on the somewhat smaller quarter pipe that's painted pale blue. It's a little bit smaller, and again, less slippery. That's my main issue. So a lot of times when I'm learning things, I tried on there to take the slip out factor out. So rock to fakie, again, that's one of my warm-ups, and this is almost as soon as I went out to skate. I think I'd done a little bit of street skating before. Yeah, I like doing front rocks on there because it's not slippery. Like the black one, I just slipped like crazy on that one. So so there's my regular feeble stall. Again, that's super easy for me. Been doing it a long time. And so I wanted to do Feeble-to-fakie, but I really wasn't feeling like I was going to make it. So I'm just kind of trying to get a feel for how I might go about it. Again, no cuts here. I'm not editing anything because I wanted you to see the whole process. Backside disaster. I got some videos to make about that. I struggle with that trick so bad, but I'm doing okay with it at this particular moment. Here's a good one. Yeah, so that has nothing to do with Feeble-to-fakie. I'm just warming up. So what next? I think this is where my gears start turning, right? Like I'm thinking. No, maybe not. I'm kind of like, what am I doing here? How am I going to get that thing to pop back in fakie? I'm like, I can't quite figure it out. Yeah. So feeble to rock to fakie. I think I had done that before. And so I kind of went back like, okay, maybe I'll start with that. Just sort of preventing myself from pivoting back into the ramp. I needed to get that muscle memory out of my legs by trying this for a minute. So I got a couple of feeble to rock to fakie. Again, I feel like if you do that too much, it's bad for you. But there we go. So that's what I mean by fakie manual. So just go up there, almost pretend like you're going to deck the board for a rock to fakie, but then don't, and just manual most of the way back down. That's really what you need. And so here I'm just trying to push up higher and higher and get myself used to that feeling. And this is something I really didn't plan. I just kind of started messing with it to try to... Again, I'm almost trying to like push myself to like have my muscle memory be abnormal. And I believe this is some conversation about macaroni and cheese or asparagus or something. It's mac and cheese, yeah. I'm really good at cooking mac and cheese. Oh, zucchini. I don't know what's going on. That's not part of the process. You don't need zucchini. Mac and cheese you might need for energy. So we were just manualing to fakie. I think I'm gonna keep going with that. Yeah, so I'm getting pretty high up there to where my, I'm almost sneaking into a blunt. If I really wanted to, I probably could have. So here, all right, I feeble stall again, and I'm just not, I'm not ready for it. Let's just pivot. The muscle memory on that pivot, you just got to get rid of it. I mean, that's what this process is, getting rid of that pivot muscle memory. Right, so now I'm feeble to rock to fakie again, just to stop myself from pivoting out every time. So did you see that? So that was a rock to fakie, but I was a little bit crooked. And that was helpful to me too. I probably should have put that on the list, right? And that one was almost pushed up to where the wheel was on the coping. It wasn't a feeble, but it was a darn crooked rock to fakie. And that's really helping me. Oh, so I didn't commit on that. That's what it looks like to not commit, right? Where I felt myself get into the fakie, and I was like, nope. And that's the person who is unable to commit to the trick. But I feel like I've built up enough muscle memory in this process that I'm going to be able to overcome this. And I wasn't sure at this moment. Oh, still not committing. I wasn't even in the feeble that time. See how bad I feel? I mean, I'm starting to feel depressed. Like a baby. You know how I get. That was almost it. That was sort of up there with a wheel on the coping, but not a truck. And that was it, right? So I went from the depths of despair to actually doing it, and it's only been just under 6 minutes. I missed the truck that time, but I've got the feeling now, like I know how to do it. Yep. That was a good one. Yeah, so I pretty much got this trick. Like it, once you sort of trick yourself into committing to it, you really sort of feel how easy and relatively safe it is. Yeah, pretty nice. So, I've been doing this trick a lot since I filmed this clip about a month ago, and I've never hung up. I've definitely bailed and failed, like that was a nice failure. That's the way I normally fail, is like leaning back too far and kind of sticking. But I've actually never yet hung up. Should I knock on wood? All right. I think I got one more. Yeah, good. So I was really happy with that. I was really happy to sort of film the whole process in one go with no edits. I'll tell you the other thing. There's an elephant in the room, and that is that the somewhat larger quarter pipe, I mean, it's still only a 2-foot quarter pipe, is right over there, and I didn't film any Feeble-to-fakie on that bigger quarter pipe. And as I was looking at this clip the other day, I thought to myself, boy, this video is kind of ridiculous to learn it on the tiny one and then not show it on the bigger one. And so I went out real quick and filmed a quick Feeble-to-fakie on the big quarter pipe. And so I'll put that clip at the end of this video.